Hi, and welcome to another episode of Gary's Coin Channel. Today, I've got two bank rolls, all random memorial, some newer stuff, end caps. Been going through this box of a $25 box I got of pennies, and a lot of these rolls are turning up some unique items. And typically, these kind of bank rolls are, run of the mill, but you get some nice surprises. But this box has been giving me a lot of really nice early 60s and nice wheat cents. So, without wasting any more time, open these up. Should have got it started before, but there you go. And up. Motorcycle going by. Alright, we got it. Sorry about that. You don't want to scratch the end caps, the coins. This variety of tones of copper. The same, this is typical. Alright, I'm going to do is move this screen down a little bit and jump onto the microscope. You can still see that pretty good. Yeah, you don't have to look at all that. That looks pretty good. I just want to show that I'm actually doing this for no other reason. Okay, so let's get going. And I'm going to get over to my microscope view. Let me center the coin, make sure it's showing up on the video. And yes, it is. Looks good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move on from here. First out, 87. Nothing special. I've got two coffee cans set below, one for bank returns and the other one for copper or any modern day mint errors, spike heads and what have you. Oh, let's see, get back to 98. We're looking for a wide date on a 98, which that's not there. 66. Nice shape. And the copper one. 2014. Nothing going on. 74 San Francisco. Really nice looking toning on this coin. Rainbow dress. I don't see any errors. Off to the copper pile. I sell these coins by the pound, and I've put a lot of nice stuff in there, including modern era coins, that typically worth a couple dollars. 98. So close I am. Need a Y. 92, full of glue. And we'll see about that close I am. It's not. I'm sorry. Better look at it. That's a Y. And look for the close AM on the 92s. 84. Zinc. 2020. Nothing there. 2002. Denver. There's not much going on with that coin. There's a clean 76. Going in the copper pile. See a nicer condition. 2011. Nothing here. So still in view. I was moving around. I switched back to my full microscope view so I can see the coin better, but everything's lined up. Let's go back to it. 22. Nothing here. 86 Denver. Throw the scale on. Anything in the 80s I check for weight. You never know. Especially when it looks heavy. You know, you actually find a 3 gram 85 or something. It'll be worth it. Is the copper plated zinc pennies are 2.5 grams, roughly. 2.6, and the copper cents are 3 to 3.2 grams, usually 3.1. Quick look on the scale, it's worth it. That's how you find the 83 copper penny that way. Everybody has a scale sitting on their side for that possible event. Is what I was mentioning about the early 60s in this bank, lot. Quite a bit of them look like this. And check it over good. This had any type of error and bring that coin way up. You can see, look at the, I get to the camera here. I just have to pause this. I'm getting quite a bit of this vintage coin in this lot. It's very nice. And this is going into my copper bulk pile. You can see that. Nice. And it's quite a few. It has to be, 3 or 4 a roll. Let's go back. Scoot this back over. Okay. And get you down here. I just had to bring you in for that. I know you could see it on the microscope, but to appreciate the luster when you bend the coin in the light, it really makes a difference. Let's get back to it. Make sure we can see this. Is case in point, right out of the gate, 60 Denver, large date. And these rolls just keep giving it up. Look at that coin. Look at the reverse. A really nice olive green toning. This one, I'm going to put this one aside. Just because. It's my birthday. I usually don't emphasize a lot on toning of coins. I do, but not not for selling purposes. More for just looking at. Unless it's a really rare coin or oddity of some sort with toning. But even if it's standard coin with nice toning, every now and then I'll pay a little more attention to it. 2019. Yeah, there's a mess on this coin. I don't even bother looking. We don't need. I have an ultrasonic cleaner, but a coin like that, yeah. 61 Denver. Again, the early 60s in better shape. I don't know where this lot came from, but something happened. 93. Always check for a wide date not date, a wide AM possibility on the 93. It's because it's so close. This is the first year of the transition to the close AM. '69 Denver. Yeah. A little bit of a floater on the roof, but nothing really going on. 24. No, above Liberty, these had cracks in them. Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, like big die crack. 96. I know it's upside down, but yeah, you look at 1,096,000 pennies. You kind of know what to look for. 73. Nice. Rotated die. Right, off to the copper pile. 20. Look at that. 18. Look at that. 21. 07. Glue. 23. No extra V. And move along a little faster here. 16. I know it could be dangerous if you rush through them. Huh. 3. But you know what? If you got a million pennies to go through, and sit and stare at each one. Little wood grain issue here. Yeah. Different. Those look like well, that could be PMD. You'd see some of these struck through a cloth or something. I'm not going to pursue it. I'll put it aside and run it through the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, just to make sure it's not, glue or debris of some sort. It really doesn't take down the value of the coin. Especially if it turns out to be something, a foreign object that's not. What could it be worth at that point? But the ultrasonic cleaner, it's not scrubbing the coin. It's just removing anything on top of it. It kind of dissolves it. I don't really find it to be classified as cleaning a coin, though you are cleaning it. Nice looking 84. I always throw anything in the 80s on the scale. I mean, just because. I mean, they could drop one of those 3 gram planchets on the floor, pick it up, and throw it back in the pile. It's kind of how those things happen. Machine doubling on that. 02. Let it go. 16. Nothing there. 81. Nothing there. 16. Nothing there. 02. A mess. Let's see why. What is that by the Liberty? Sometimes you catch something that looks like a bubble. Huh. That happens. 2015. Nothing. Here. 17. Nothing. Maybe a little closer. 72. And keep an eye out for the 72s with the doubling. Okay, so the copper pile. 24. Oop. Yeah, there's something with glue all over it. 91. And right there to you. 21. 22. 18. It's a boring roll. 13. That happens. Yeah, see if anything in here interest. 1980. 1980. 2000. And we want to look for that AM variety, which this is the close AM as what's expected on this coin. Means send it back to the bank. Translation. 18. There we go. So 1941 wheat back. That's the first one of these 2 rolls here. Average condition for that year. Little dings here and there. No issues. So it goes in the wheat penny pile, which I do sell when I get quite a bit of them, but I don't think I have any listed right now. 81. Just a clean cut 81. 67. Satin toning. Put in the copper. 18. So I should have weighed that 67. It's probably fine. 2. That being it was uncommon to see a finish like that. I should have put it aside. I could probably dig for it. No. I don't think it meant anything. 16. 01. Close AM. 94. 22. '22. '21. And as I mentioned, the 21s will have a split from in front of Lincoln's face to the edge, the rim, or collar, and run down, not quite diagonal, but on a diagonal run from there through the VDB, and it's typically has a decladding going on, and die chip break. I think it was from an impact. Not quite sure, but they are fetching a few bucks. I actually sold one myself on eBay early on. Well, not early on, but I thought it was just another broken planchette deal, die break, and I always thought my auctions for $1, and immediately within 20 minutes, I got a message. I'll pay you $35 right now for it. It's like, oh well, I'm not accepting offers, but you want me to, I'll flip it over to accept offers. I was like, I've seen these 21s with the die break like that. Not as severe, but here and there, I've seen them. And I have a few in my look at again pile. I know I do. And so I said, oh, I put it as make an offer. He sent an offer, $35. I said, hey, it's a penny. I paid a penny for it. So I took the offer, and I found out he flipped it. I don't know if he sold it. I saw he was trying to flip it for $225, some crazy amount. I was like, hey. And I looked, and I've seen other coins like that. Some, even with a better split in it, selling for quite a bit. That's why I'm like, all right, I'm gonna find these and set them aside. That's a nice looking 78. Sorry to get off track with the 21. Let's get back on track. That goes into the copper pile. 22. Can talk and chew gum at the same time. The parking lot coin. I'll grab this one. See what you are. 83. It feels like zinc, but we always check on the scale. 2.6. 21. And speckled back. 18. It is with these bankrolls, you really don't know what you're going to get. I mean, you find some crazy stuff. And, it could be boring too. You go through a lot of shield pennies. But even then, with shield pennies, cents, there are, errors that are pretty good if you find them. And then, that's part of the deal. You're not going to find a $10 coin on every roll. That's why they call it hunting. 88. I'm going to weigh this one. I always have a habit of weighing anything in the 80s. I think they had a heavier cladding back then as well. So the deterioration, not so much the late 80s, it's like 84, 85, maybe 86. The deterioration issue with the zinc was not as common. I think the plating of copper was a little thicker. That's my guess. I could be wrong. But if they accidentally ran a solid copper planchette through the machine in '84, I would not say, hey, that's impossible. I you know, could see that happen. 74. Get that. You gotta look back. I think you saw something. 23. That's found a couple of extra V's in these rolls. Issue at the top. No. It says move on. 2018. Moving on. 15. Coming down to the end here. Really clean looking 75. Copper pot. Seven Denver. You can clearly see this is zinc because of the coloration and felt white, and also that rim issue with the late 80s plated pennies along Liberty on the edge. In God We Trust. It gets, there's a lot of times it becomes cracked like that. The machine doubling on the D. Back to the bank. That's a better V on this 2020 than a lot of those 23s I see. Unicorns. That's how I call them, unicorns. 68 Denver. And you have the lettering going into the edge of the coin. Almost looks like a cud up by the god. I don't think so. Looks like it could be from the ware. Oh, off to the copper pot. So, 93. Sheen doubling, nothing really crazy. Close AM where it should be. 23. And it's got a V. That's it. Try to look at it in light. It's got one of those unicorn V's. I think you see a V? Yeah, I think I see a V. Yeah, right there. You know what? I can't say for sure that that's a stamped V. I'll send it back to the bank. Really have to pass because, in a way, I don't understand the whole extra V theory. They, started stamping another V into it, but they moved it over. I don't know. I don't know what the actual reasoning is behind it, but I don't know. I find it a little too much to really believe that it's something that was done at the mint, or an error for that matter, where it could be cross-hatching. 21. And let me know what you think. I've actually sold an extra V. That clearly looks like an extra V. Indented into the coin. So I don't know. I just don't know the answer to it. Trying to be as honest as I can. But sometimes you like seeing stuff. Unicorn. I call it the unicorn penny. The 23 extra V. 5. Alright, last one. 2020. And on the back might be a spike head working there, but looks like the W on the top of his head is connected. I'll let it go. Thank you for watching my video. If you do bankroll hunt, let me know. Just say, yeah, and I found this. I mean, I don't mind people, shouting out in that way. But if you like my videos, just hit the like button. You could subscribe if you haven't. That would help me. And also get you more pretty decent videos. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.